the runner-up for the 1964 National Singles Championship from King, North Carolina, Tommy-Tuttle. The California champion from Fresno, Bill Bunetta. Two more of the world's greatest bowlers on championship bowling in a three-game match from the Firestone Bowl A Rama lanes in Akron, Ohio.
Hello, everybody, from Akron, Ohio. It's championship bowling. This is Fred Wolf. Two more of our field of the world's greatest bowlers in match game competition, a purse of some $70,000. This week, as usual, the winner receives $1,000, the loser $500, a 300 score worth $10,000. All competition is sanctioned by the American Bowling Congress. All of our field appear twice. Total pins for the 6 games will qualify our 2 finalists with a $15,000 added purse during the final 2 weeks on championship bowling here in Akron, Ohio. We have the bonus plan, 5 strikes in a row in any one game, $250, $50 on top of that for every strike added to the original 5. This week looks like a pretty good match. Working with us again from St. Louis, the great champion Dick Weber. Richard, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Well, you've been watching these two fellows in action here in practice sessions. They look pretty sharp again.
Yes, they do, Fred. And point of interest, Fred, I believe that Bill Bunetta has won 9 straight matches on championship bowling, and Tommy's made his first appearance on championship bowling, and he's won 1 match. So we have 2 undefeated champions here.
Well, let's see what happens. They both know their way around. You get up there and get ready, and we'll get this match underway.
Right,
let's meet the boys from Fresno, California, Big Bill Bunetta. Boys, ready? In pretty good shape?
Fairly good shape, yes.
You going to really swing that hard one this week?
Well, you never know in a bowling game, but my stroke seems to be fairly good today, and I have a lot of confidence.
You have a lot of confidence. You know, you got a guy here from King, North Carolina. Did you ever hear of King, North Carolina? You know where that is?
But I've heard of this young fellow, Tommy-Tuttle.
Yes, sir?
Someone said yesterday his middle name should be Nick. Then he'd have TNT for initials. Is that right?
TNT. How about that? Let's bring him out here. Tommy N. Tuttle from King, North Carolina. Tommy?
Okay.
How are you, boy?
All right, how are you?
We're watching you in practice, and looks like you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You're ready.
Yeah.
You know the rules here. $1,000 to the winner, $500 to the runner-up, 5 in a row, $250 in any one game.
Want.
That's what you want?
Yeah.
You don't want the 1,000.
I'll take both.
You'll take both. Now, it's 6 games. Pinfall is important. We might see you boys back here in the finals.
I hope so.
All right, if you haven't met officially, let's do it. Akron, you ready for the first game? Ready for the first game of 3. Championship Bowling, television's #1 bowling show from Akron, Ohio. Fred Wolf along with Dick Weber. It's Tommy-Tuttle against Bill Bunetta. Tuttle won the toss. Elected to start on the left side. Gets one in there and kicks the 4-pin out of there. So big swinging Bill Bunetta from Fresno, California, moves in on the right side. Dick, I might say that Tuttle, in winning the toss, has kind of crossed up the pattern here by starting on the left side.
Yes, I felt sure that he'd want to finish on lane 25.
There we are. Off to another great start here. Championship bowling. Bill Bunetta, born in Detroit in 1919, went to Chicago in 1956, was there 5 or 6 years, won the Chicago Match Game Championship while he was there, then went to Fresno, California in 1961 to take part in the National Bowling League. He's been there ever since. Great record. A great tournament competitor. Hurry, he doesn't quite get up there. Leaves the 2, the 4, the 5, and the 8. Bill is more the steamroller type, Dick, isn't he? And Tommy is the outside roller
Right.
type of a bowler.
Bill likes to grind this ball very much on any condition.
Well, Well, Tuttle, you know, is the boy that did the great job in the 1964 National All-Star in Dallas, Texas. There's the cover for Big Bill Bunetta, and that AMF spearmaker indicated the ball between the 2 and the 5, following through to take out the 8, and Bill certainly did that. So let's watch the little guy from King, North Carolina. That's about 8 miles north of Winston-Salem, where championship bowling has originated from. Gotta hurry, Tom. He's there, and look at that 7-pin, and I don't think he can knock it down by stamping his feet. Well, he got a good piece of it.
Oh, smiling Tom. Always got that smile on his face.
I think he'd have smiled a little broader if he could have kicked that 7-pin out of there. There's the cover. So both boys getting their first strike in a hurry, but unable to get the double. The first assignment, get a strike in a hurry. Second assignment, get a double as quick as you can. So they both missed their first chance. We're in the third. Right back in there. Oh, man, he has that one in there. Thomas Raymond Tuttle making his first appearance on championship bowling. For Vanetta, in 24 games in front of the championship bowling cameras, he has averaged .215 per game. Careful. 610. Bill a little high. Bill has never been under 600, too, incidentally, Dick. 603 is his low series. His high series, 696. And he has had 257 games.
That's the reason he's averaging 215.
Yes, sir. Very easy to figure that out. 610, cross lane. The ball should hit both pins. That's it. So Vanetta will move to the left. All competition moves from right to left with the exception of the first frame. Now, all games must start from the left side. We refer to lane 25 here at the Bowl A Rama in Akron as the left side. One frame there, that starts the game. Then the opponent, his opponent, moves up, goes from our right to the left, and the competition goes that way right throughout the game. Vanetta is on the nose, and he is wide open, the 6-7. Well, looking at the angles here, Dick, I'm sure you've watched Vanetta bowl many, many times. Bill is coming up with a deep inside angle. Now, we've seen Bill play much to the outside like Tuttle is playing. I wonder why the change.
I don't know. It's just one of those things that a bowler makes a change. He feels like he has a better chance on the inside.
Well, Billy threw that one out the window. In the channel, he is open, the first open of the match. Vanetta now with 64 in the fourth in the first game of 3 on championship bowling. Tommy's only 5 feet 7 inches tall. He'll never make it. He missed a head pin, the 1-2-4. Now, that was a situation where we have discussed, Dick, where he was short in the second frame, trying for the double. The tendency might have been to be high, but Tommy went the other way. He was much shorter than he was the first time.
Seemed to be awful fast on the ball, too, Fred.
1-2-4. Tommy covers it up. Tommy's playing the left side much farther out, around the first diamond, actually, than he is the right side. Right side, he's going just about around the second diamond. Well, he was about second diamond there. Maybe that's why he pulled it. He has the 6-10. Both boys getting that first strike in a hurry, but since then, it's been touch and go.
Both boys also, Fred, look like they're awful fast with the ball. This is the fastest I've ever seen Tommy-Tuttle throw the ball. And, of course, Bill is just rushing the foul line with his feet quite a bit.
That's the easy one. Be careful. Oh, he just got a piece of that. Made that on the outside. The 6-pin just touched the 10. Do you think, Dick, when you're bowling with a fella that throws the ball so much faster than you do, there's a tendency of speeding your own ball?
Definitely so, Fred. You have a tendency to pick that speed up with him.
Well, he broke up the 5-7, and I don't think that Vanetta is going to stay on that inside angle very long. I look for him to make a big change.
I do too, Fred. Bill is very beffing about changing angles in the middle of the stream, so I look for him to change it to an outside angle.
There's the cover for Big Bill Bunetta from Fresno, California. At the end of 5, first game of 3. Championship bowling from Akron, Ohio. Tommy-Tuttle, 78 spare. Bill Bunetta, 64 spare. We're in the 6th frame. First game. Billy gets one in there. And a strike like that, Dick, just may delay any change he's going to make. Of course, I think Bill is having all his trouble on the right side. And up till now, Tommy-Tuttle has had his problems here. He's had 2 strikes on the left. That ought to get there. There we are. Now, Tommy moved at least 3 boards right, Dick. Do I have that right?
And he seemed to go through with the ball straighter to the pocket. He didn't rely on that hook so much.
Yeah, the ball was on its way to the pocket all the way. No swing room, as they say. Set it. There we are. Oh, he didn't make any mistakes with that one. So Tommy now, with the first double of the match, Vanetta will have to match it. Looks like Bill's going to stay inside. He's left to center. Looks down, checks his hand position, throws it out, and leaves the 4-pin. Pretty good hit.
We might point out to the viewers, Fred, that this is the only thing wrong with an inside angle. It's such a tight line that you're apt to leave the 4-pin or possibly a weak 10 or a solid 10 from this angle.
Vanetta at the 4. He covers it. And Tommy-Tuttle, the youngster from King, North Carolina, now out in front by 24 pins. He's on a double. Vanetta moves left on a spare. Maybe you've had a chance to see him on Make That Spare. He converted that jackpot shot in 1963. 4-pin again, and he crowds it off spot. The AMF pin spotter, of course, will pick that 4-pin up and put it right back off spot. One of the very strict requirements of the American Bowling Congress. The AMF pin spotter does it so well. 4-pin. Cover, spare. So let's see if Mr. Tuttle can come back with another strike. We're in the 8th. He's only had 1 strike here on the right side. This fellow won the qualifying rounds in the World's Invitational in 1963. He averaged 220 for 36 games, and then almost won the 64 National All-Star. Here he comes. Solid 10. Oh, man, he had that one in there. How do we handle those, Dick?
Just go down and follow that spare maker and make the 10-pin. That's all you can do.
And as they say, the ball will be right back. And he's got it. This fella's come along really in the last few years. He only started bowling in 1959, which is rather hard to believe. He has mastered the game in such a short time.
It's such a very simple style, too, Fred. Nothing fancy about his style at all, which is good.
Nothing but results. Look at here. Oh, man, he could have 5. He's been pouring him in that pocket, and that solid 10 will keep him away from bonus money here in the first game. Vanetta still has a chance for 4, and Bill cannot cash in. Tuttle with a potential 227, and another 4-pin for Vanetta. Well, now he's had 2 solid 4s. Here on the right, Bill says, well, what else can I do? That's 3 4-pins in a row, 2 on this side, 1 on the other side. Now, what do you do in a situation like this, Dick? Do you just keep firing, don't change a thing, hope maybe the 4-pin will fall?
Well, it's funny, Fred. A lot of bowlers will make the change of possibly a board, a half a board, or move the spot a half a board or a quarter of an inch or something like this. It sounds ridiculous, but this gets them loose, gets that extra little kick on the 4-pin possibly.
Now, what would you do?
Well, in first place, I wouldn't be playing Bill Bunetta's angle. I'd be out farther. But if I did have to play that angle, I would move a board or two to my left on the approach.
Well, he has the 4-pin again with company, the 4-7. That was just a little high. Bill Bunetta, the old story that we encourage here on Championship Bowling. It's great for teenagers. It's great fun. Take your date bowling. That's what Bill did many, many years ago. Took his girlfriend bowling, and she beat him. 4-7. Yes, sir. She beat him 82-75. Are you acquainted with that story, Dick?
No, I'm not, Fred.
It's a long time ago, back in Detroit. And he's the only bowler in Michigan history to win all 4 events in the Michigan State Tournament. There he is. And he's a pretty good golfer. He has 2 holes in 1, along with about 25 300 scores. We've played golf with Bill. He hits that ball a country mile. Tommy-Tuttle now. We're in the 10th. Tommy'd like the full load here, 227. Hurry. Hurry. Not enough of that pocket. Leaves the 4-pin on a thin hit. We've been looking at that 4-pin. That's the first one for Tuttle. Vanetta has had 3 of them. 4, actually. One with the 7-pin. There's the cover for Tommy-Tuttle. The count, we give him 207. We have had 1 double. Tuttle clean. He has the double. Vanetta has 1 open. A 6-7 split. Bill was only able to pick up 2 strikes that he could work on. He got the full count in the 10th. That'll get there. Ooh, little too much. 4-7. So for Tommy-Tuttle from King, North Carolina, it's 205. For Bill Bunetta, 180. This is Championship Bowling, television's #1 bowling show. Fred Wolf, along with Dick Weber, from the Firestone Lanes in Akron, Ohio, the rubber capital of the world. Here are the scores for the first game. Bill Bunetta from Fresno, California, 180. For Tommy-Tuttle from King, North Carolina, 205. The margin, 25 pins. You ready, Akron, for the second game? All right. Let's kick it loose, boys. Big Bill Bunetta from Fresno, California will start the second game of 3. Championship Bowling from Akron, Ohio. The world's greatest bowlers in match game competition every week, and Bill finally gets in the pocket solid, leaves a solid 10-pin. Vanetta with 3 4-pins late in the first game, unable to get loose. 1 open frame, no doubles. Tuttle with 1 double and no opens. Tuttle out in front by 25 pins. $1,000 to the winner. $500 to the runner-up. Both these boys making 2 appearances, meeting a different opponent each time. Total pins for the 6 games or the 2 appearances qualify our 2 finalists for a $15,000 added purse over 2 weeks here on Championship Bowling from Akron, Ohio. Dick Weber sitting in with us this week, and another 10-pin. There was a couple of different kind of 10-pins there, Dick.
Yes, one was packed real solid by Bill Bunetta, and this in here by Tommy-Tuttle. The ball just didn't quite have the finish on it, so the 6-pin set right in the channel and didn't knock the 10-pin over.
That's what they call the soft 10-pin.
Medium
Against
10.
medium 10 against the solid 10. There's the spare by Tuttle. Man, we had to wait that one out. So Tommy now moves to the left. And when we say a late comer, this fellow started bowling in 1959, and he was coaxed into bowling, really. He filled in as a substitute in a industrial league down in King, North Carolina. And then he became so interested after averaging 157 his first year. Come on, boy. Well, there's another 4-pin on a thin hit. He averaged 184 his second year as a regular. Third year, he averaged 202. In the same year that he averaged 202, he really became interested. He built his own bowling establishment. Now, that's quite a story.
Right.
That's one way to get to practice. You build your own little place. There's cover, the 4-pin. Tuttle with a spare. Bill Bunetta trailing by 25 pins. And Bill's still going to stay inside, Dick. I don't know, Dick, but if you were coaching Vanetta right now, what would you say? What would you tell him to do?
Well, I'd say, son, let's move a little bit.
Let's move. Yes, sir. I would have to believe that. But like they say, bowlers are stubborn sometimes. They get it in their head they can do something. He moved that time. He's out over there. He's playing the left side a little out.
The first ball he threw in the first frame of the second game here, he left a solid 10. He was on the 16th board, and that ball there looked like it was around 12, 13 boards.
I think he just has the idea that this right side must be played inside. But if he watches Tuttle certainly isn't inside. There's another solid 4. That thing wasn't even touched. Everything went around it.
Here's a case, Fred, where both bowlers could actually have a turkey. Both of them hit the pocket 3 times in a row here, but Vanetta has the double, and Tommy's still looking for the first strike in this second game.
Actually, Tommy's been in that pocket since the 6th frame of the first game. This game, he's had a 10, a 4, and a 4. Gets a little frustrating.
Yes.
He's a little high, not too high. We have another 4-pin. Must be the name of this game. It's a new game, Dick. 4-pin.
This starts working on a fellow's mind a little bit. Have us speed it up a little bit on turning too much, not turning enough, lifting enough. There's a number of things that runs through your mind.
Well, we've had 2 triples. Vanetta. Vanetta has left 3 4-pins in a row, and now Tommy-Tuttle has left 3 4-pins in a row. And this has got to be rather unusual. Bill Bunetta. Oh, in the middle. Didn't get a break. Leaves 1 on each corner. Snake eyes. No way to make this one. Although I know it has been made, Dick. They usually make this one by kicking some pin around in the pin receptacle there, don't they?
Coming off the kickback.
Well, Bill's got enough speed. Let's see if he can rattle one. He's going to take a crack at it. Oh, almost. He's got that pin up there. Bill Bunetta. This fellow shot .805 on television in New York in 1961. Great instructor, this fella. And AMF keeps him quite busy touring around the country, conducting clinics. How about that? Looked like a relaxed ball.
Right. You know, Bill could be classed as the professional bowler's teacher. He teaches a lot of professionals, analyzes their game for them, which is very helpful.
Yes, very likable. Fellow, I've known Bill for a good many years. Hasn't changed one bit. Yeah, Tommy got one out of there. So it's hard to figure. There's a strike for Tuttle, and he's been in that pocket beautifully for 4 frames. That one a little on the shaky side. So at the end of 5, we're halfway. Tuttle, 77 strike. Vanetta, 76 strike. We're in the 6th. Second game. Tuttle throws too high. Breaks it up. Nothing but the 6-pin. In 1964, this fellow won the Bowling Proprietors Association of America's Regional Doubles, an event held in Cleveland, very close to Akron, of course, with an old friend of ours from way back and a great campaigner, Lou Franz from Louisville, Kentucky. And Tommy had a .297 game along the way. In 1963, he won the Carlings Open in Atlanta, Georgia. So Vanetta now with a chance to cut into that 25-pin margin. We're in the last half of this one. From Akron, Ohio, Championship Bowling, television's #1 bowling show, and Vanetta is in. Well, maybe that inside angle is going to work out for Bill yet.
Well, on that shot there, Freddie, he changed his hand position a little bit. Instead of trying to lift and turn the ball so much, he just came straighter through with the hand, and he seemed to work on that shot.
Too high, 4-7. Bill seemed to drop that one.
Right. I said I wanted to get too much on that ball, and I dropped it.
Bill has won 2 American Bowling Congress titles. In 1963, he was the captain of the Team Classic champions in Buffalo. They were the runner-ups in 62. Cover. So for Vanetta now, it's 124. He has the spare in the 7th as Tommy-Tuttle steps in the 7th frame, working on a spare. Gotta hurry. He doesn't get there. And the boys are just pulling up a bit here on the right side, Dick. There's a 2-5. Tommy's been short there 2 or 3 times.
Yes, every time Tommy's struck on lane 26 here, he has rolled the ball more. But this ball here, he just seemed to fling, throw too hard.
There's the cover, the 2 and the 5. Thomas Raymond Tuttle from King, North Carolina, moves to the left. The margin, 16 pins. Vanetta out in front here in the second game. Both boys on spares going into the 8th. Vanetta is 124 spare, Tuttle 115 spare. Vanetta has had 1 double, Tuttle 1 double. Here we go. Oh, he really can shake him up, can he?
Got a little bit of fingers on that one.
So Vanetta now moves in. He's got to match that one, not let Tuttle get too far away. He may never catch him. Deep inside, sets it. He comes back with that strike in the 8th. So we go into the 9th. The margin is the same. Bill Bunetta. He's been a member of the National 5-man match game champions 7 different times. Doesn't make too many events on the PBA Tour. 1963, he was the 19th leading money winner, won around $13,000. That'll never get there. 2-4-5. Bill kind of side-wheeled that one, didn't he?
Right, on lane 26 now, Fred, if you notice, he come through straight with the hand, and here on lane 25, he tried to grind the ball a little bit, hook it more, and got on top of it, and the ball was slid.
Bill Bunetta. He was the winner of the Fred Wolf Classic, Dick, in 1963. Right. A little event we kick around in Detroit every year. We go into the 9th. Tuttle is on the strike. And, of course, a chance to get back to that 25-pin advantage that he enjoyed at the end of the first game. Chance for Tommy's second double. Oh, not enough. Short again. 2-4-5-8. Just a little slippery out there.
A little bit short with the follow-through, plus the speed.
Say, are any of you folks fighting the battle of the bulge? Now, we all know about dieting, but exercise is also important. And while you're at it, you're going to exercise. Why don't you enjoy your exercise? Try bowling. It's great fun. You know, many people started bowling for the express purpose of losing weight, and they soon learned that bowling was so much fun that weight or not, they just enjoyed it, and they've been bowling ever since. Why don't you make that discovery? Shed pounds, go bowling, have fun. No trouble on the left side. All the trouble on the right.
Seems to be rolling the ball much more on 25 than he is 26.
Well, Tommy had a couple of 4 pins here on the right. He was in solid. And he was light in the 7th, light in the 9th. This one for a chance at another 205. It is good. Tuttle's second double. No bonus money here in this game. No bonus money this week for the first 2 games. So Tommy has a triplicate going. If he can get the full count here, 205 the first game, 205 the second game. The count is not enough. 7-202. Tommy just kind of let that one loose, didn't he?
Eased up a little bit. A little overconfident, I believe.
Big Bill Bunetta. Willie, the man with the tremendous vocabulary. Needs the double to stay with his opponent. There's the first one. So Vanetta now needs this one to keep that margin under 20 pins. Chance for 214. Bill was captain of the Fresno Bombers in the National Bowling League in 1962. He liked Fresno so much, he stayed right there. Not enough. He's short again. We look at the bucket again, the 2-4-5-8.
Notice, Bill, when he shot that ball, he knew it was wide. He was just hoping that possibly it might come back to hit him thin and carry, but he wasn't satisfied with his release at all.
There's the cover, 204 for Bill Bunetta, 202 for Tommy-Tuttle. That's the second game of 3 on Championship Bowling, television's #1 bowling show from the Firestone Lanes in Akron, Ohio. We'll be ready for the third and final game on Championship Bowling here in Akron, Ohio. Now in Conversation Corner, we have a young Akron teenager named Dick Colt. And Dick, you find bowling a lot of fun?
Yes, I like to bowl. I bowl in a league once a week, and it helps me keep physically fit and alert.
How about weekends? They tell me that it's a pretty good idea to take your date bowling. Does that work out for you?
Yeah, it works out for me. It's easy on my wallet, and it's just all around good fun.
Do you look for girls that maybe are better bowlers than other girls, or do you just get one you can beat?
No, I just try and teach them how to bowl. I know a little bit about it, and
That makes you a big hero. How about around the school? You find a lot of your buddies finding bowling a lot of fun, too?
Yes, we have a big league of just the boys from the school.
Mm-hmm. Well, Dick, if you were going to talk to some other teenagers around the country, what would you say? Would you suggest that they get with bowling and see how much fun they can have?
I think they ought to try it, because once they try it, they'll like it.
That's right. We say bowling is great fun. And it really is. Thank you, Dick. Dick Colt, one of our outstanding young teenagers here in Akron. I'll tell you, look in the yellow pages, fellas, and you'll find a bowling establishment in your neighborhood, and most of them display this BPAA symbol. We'll be back for the third and final game on Championship Bowling from Akron, Ohio. Start of the third and final game on Championship Bowling here at Akron, Ohio. Fred Wolf along with Dick Weber. Here's Tommy-Tuttle. He's out in front by 23 pins over Bill Bunetta. Back in that pocket, and he starts off with a big strike. Got to figure something out here on the right side. Dick, we're doing pretty well on the left.
Just wonder possibly if he might move out a board or so and roll the ball a little bit more on lane 26.
Bill making motions up there like he held that one pretty tight all the way down. I believe that's what he was referring to. So we go into the second, both boys starting with strikes. This is where we were when we came in. That's how they started in the first frame of the first game. And Bill was unable to pick up a double for the entire first game. He didn't get his first double until the sixth frame of the second game. Too high, and look at here, 4, 7, 9, 10. He missed the easy side.
Bill's been fighting this lane all the way through, Fred, and just trying to be too perfect on the lane. When you do this, you make all kinds of shots, getting the split like Bill has, or missing the head pin lightly and leaving the bucket.
Well, let's watch it. He's going to take... Nope, he'll never get over far enough for that one. Takes the 4-7, and Bill Bunetta is open. And that's his third open frame of the match. Bill Bunetta with one double. And this is certainly unusual for this fella.
Rare occasion, Fred.
So the little guy from King, North Carolina, on a strike. Now, Tommy's been short here 3 frames in a row. Got to throw this one up there.
Not this time.
There we are. Oh, that was pocket all the way, wasn't it?
Boy. That ball didn't have a chance to slide backwards or to the left.
Tuttle now moving to the left. He's on 2. He's got that margin up now to about 40 pins. $1,000 to the winner. $500 to the loser. That's too high, and he's wide open, and he gives Bill Bunetta room. The 4-7-9. Well, Tommy, after the double, just seemed to be a little careless on what definitely has been his easy side, Dick. He's been doing very well over here.
True.
Boys can't seem to get past that 4-pin. Don't have much of a chance on those shots. So Vanetta now has the chance to get back into this game. If he can get 2 strikes in his 2 appearances here on these 2 lanes, he can get right back to that 20-pin margin. He trails by 20. The first one, nothing hit the 5-pin. Pin went right in front of it, got a piece of it, but Bill looks at the 5-pin. Pin in the center of the triangle. Noticing here and talking to both of these boys, Dick, there's the cover for Vanetta. We ask these fellas many times, as we have you, what you prefer in the way of practice. What type of practice session? The long session or the sessions more often? And they both seem to agree on one thing, that they prefer the short practice sessions, but often.
Yes, this is very true, Fred. And in fact, I prefer the short practice session, too. You don't overdo it this way.
We're in the 4th. Oh, my goodness, look at that. A lot of action on that one, but the result, a 10-pin.
The bowler's menace.
Yeah.
The 10-pin.
Tommy, of course, being a bowling proprietor, I believe he'd have a little more chance. He says he likes to bowl 3 games at a time, maybe 3 or 4 times a day. It's a little unusual. Seems like you'd get your thumb and fingers nice and soft and feeling right, and when you quit for an hour or 2, you got to start again. They'd be a little stiff, wouldn't they?
I think so.
In the 4th. Oh, Tommy got that one in there. So Tuttle now has 2 in a row on the right side, the side he's been battling here for all 3 games. Made the big mistake in the 3rd frame, leaving the 4-7-9. Now let's see if he can keep off the nose this time. I know he's very conscious of it. Oh, no. Well, Tommy's not happy with what's going on over there, Dick.
No, not at all. In fact, that was his favorite lane, and he didn't have too much to worry about on that lane, but he's really been careless the last 2 pitches on us.
Tommy-Tuttle, King, North Carolina, the winner of the Baltimore Open on the PBA Tour. In 1964, on the Winter Tour, he won $13,000. Competed in 6 events. He was in the finals 3 times. Here's Bill Bunetta. There's still room for Vanetta, but he's got to go, and look at this one. Snake eyes. 8-10. Boy, that didn't look that bad.
No, it didn't. It looked like the ball really snapped right on the end. But it's one of those oddities or bad things that happen in the bowling game.
Well, Bill is lining up with the 10 pin, or is he going to? Oh, he's going to rifle it at the 8. Well, he got it back in the wrong channel. He had a chance at it at the end of 5 of the third and final game. Tuttle pulling out in front. Tuttle is 75 spare. Vanetta is open in the 5th with 72. We're in the 6th. Vanetta too high. Look out. 4-9 kicks the 4 out. Nothing but the 9 pin. Seem to be falling just a little tough this week, Dick.
Very much so. Bill just didn't, he likes to use the term crisp at the foul line, and I know he doesn't feel that he's crisp at the foul line.
There for Bill Bunetta. You know, the National Federation of Settlements and Neighborhood Centers is doing much in the field of social work, child welfare, and family assistance. Volunteer your services for this growing need. Tommy-Tuttle throws. He's there, and he goes. Very interesting thing here that seems to be developing, and that Tommy, who was having all the success on the left side, now suddenly he's found the right side, and Dick, he won the toss and elected to start on the left, so it must have been obvious that the right was his favorite side when he started. But he had all his success on the left. Now it's back to the right. That's out there, and he kicks the 10 out.
You know, Fred, there's a time when the bowler gets too overconfident on a lane, and this might have happened to Tommy on lane 25.
Well, that didn't look much better than the 8-10 that he left there in the 5th frame. Probably a little tighter.
Might have been a little tighter, a little bit slower with the ball.
Well, let's see if Vanetta can get his second double. Bill's had a rough time. Sorry, Bill. How can that pin stand up?
Everything wrapped around the 7 pin. I just don't know.
Bill threw that ball away. He wanted to throw it.
He even turned his back. He knew he hit his spot well. He followed through well, had a good roll, but didn't get 10 pins.
Tommy-Tuttle now moving in. Our last chance for bonus money. 3 games without bonus money. 5 strikes in a row in any one game. The start of a $250 bonus. $50 additional for each strike on top of the 5. Tommy-Tuttle from King, North Carolina. And that 7 pin is up there again. Boy, that 4 pin, I believe, went right around it.
So close. As we say in the bowling game, another 16th of an inch and I'd have had it.
Well, he didn't need much more. That AMF tournament pin got buffed a bit, but it did not go over. So Tommy now will move to the left side. Tommy's still around the 600 mark. Bill will never see 600, and that's going to break a string for Bill. 603 has been Bill's low total in 8 appearances, a total of 24 games. He's been averaging 215 on championship bowling over the years, and that's going to suffer. There, he's right back. Oh, he could have had that 7 pin over here. It might have been on a string. Vanetta now will wind it up. The 3rd and final game from Akron, Ohio. A little slower, but the same result. This time the other corner, the 10 pin.
6 pin wrapping right around that 10 pin.
Bill covers. I don't think we've had a miss in the match this week. We've had some wide open splits. Vanetta with the 6-7 in the first game. Had the 2-10 in the fourth frame of the second game. The 7-10, rather. Oh, he did a little experimenting with that. He really gave that one a turn. You see that ball spin?
Slow and turn. He came through with the ball good.
I still think, Dick, I'd rather see Bill playing that outside angle between the first and second diamond and strong-arm him as he has for so many years. I don't know what he's trying to prove. He may prove something here that he'll probably never try this one again.
I have to agree with you, Fred.
Vanetta in the 10th, 169. And that's not very good. That's flirting with the lowest game ever bowled on championship bowling, 141, bowled by Harold Asquin in the Paramus series many years ago. The lowest 3 games ever bowled, 508, by Maury Kramer, Coral Gables series. Nope, sorry, Bill. So it'll be Tommy-Tuttle in the 10th. He's on a strike in the 9th, a chance for 224 and 631. Tommy will need another big series if he's going to have a chance to be here in the finals on the last 2 weeks of championship bowling from Akron, Ohio, with a $15,000 added purse. In the 10th, here it comes. He's there. He does not carry the 7-pin again. I wonder if there's some short pins down there, Dick. Something is not working right here for the boys this week.
Just going to say that's a short pin there. The term we use all through our tour and past performances.
Nice cover. You know, they used to say, Dick, that you just had to bowl for 10 years at least before you could develop into what we term an all-star bowler, or today is the professional bowler. And this fella has certainly knocked the stuffings out of that remark, because he's learned awfully fast.
Sure has, Fred.
Well, I don't think Tommy cares too much about that. It's 202 for Tuttle, 168 for Vanetta, 609 for Tuttle, and 552 for Bill Bunetta. Tuttle the winner. We'll have a word or two with these two fine bowling champions right after we have an interesting word here. Dick, I want to thank you for being with us again this week.
Thank you, Fred.
Been a pleasure. Championship Bowling, Fred Wolf along with Dick Weber from the Firestone Lanes in Akron, Ohio, where the World Series of Golf is played annually. Here are the official scores for Bill Bunetta from Fresno, California, 180, 204, and 168. The total is 552. For Tommy-Tuttle from King, North Carolina, 205, 202, 202. The total 609. The winner, Tommy-Tuttle. How about this, ladies and gentlemen? I was going to say, how did you like this match, Akron, Ohio? I don't think they enjoyed it. You didn't like it very much, did you, Bill?
No, it's the first time, Fred, I've been under 600 on championship bowling. I just believe my angle was too deep, and one ball would skid, and then I'd try to help the next one, and it would cut right through, and I'd try to split the difference, and frame after frame, game after game, it was all over.
Dick Weber said that if he ever sees you play that inside angle again, he's going to sort of nudge you a little bit and get you out where you belong, he said.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll give him permission publicly to do that.
All right, Bill, the loser's share, $500. Tommy, to you, congratulations.
Thank you.
Your first appearance on championship bowling. As a winner, I suppose that feels pretty good.
Feels real good.
But you'd like to bowl much better than that, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I'd like to have some of that bonus money.
Bonus money?
Yeah.
We didn't have any bonus money this week. Well, maybe on your next appearance, we'll get into the bonus department. Ladies and gentlemen, two great stars, Tommy-Tuttle, Bill Bunetta. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Sure hope you can join us again next week on Championship Bowling, television's #1 bowling show from the Firestone Bowl A Rama in Akron, Ohio. Each week you see two of the world's greatest bowlers in match game competition for a $70,000 purse. Until next week at this same time, this is Fred Wolf, just saying, keep 'em bowling out there. It's great fun. King shirts and slacks used on Championship Bowling by King Louie. Championship Bowling is sanctioned by the American Bowling Congress, and we wish to thank AMF for their cooperation in helping us to produce Championship Bowling.